I used to say PhD stood for poor, helpless, and desperate, because our schools teach us nothing about money. So when I was 9 years old, I just raised my hand and I asked my teacher, because I went to a rich kid's school. I was a poor kid, I went to a rich kid's school. And I wanted to know how come they were rich and I was poor. And the teacher said, well, if you stay in school, you'll be rich. I said, don't BS me. I mean, my father's a PhD and he's broke. And she'd go, no, you stay in school. So I went home to see the old man, poor dad. He's a good man, good father, great husband, but he knew nothing about money. And so I kept asking him, I said, when are you going to teach me about money? When's the school going to teach us about money? Then he blurted it out too. He says, I can only teach what the government lets me teach. And money is not one of those subjects. So I never did well in school. I have a college degree. I went to a very good school, did all the stuff, but I didn't learn anything about money. And I just started studying with my rich dad when I was 9. And he taught his son and me, my best friend, about money, playing Monopoly. So it's not that hard to be rich, but you have to have good teachers. We have fake money. The Fed prints as much as they want, but I don't save money and I use debt to get rich. A person has to know there's been credit and debt. All money today is credit. It doesn't exist. Credit is very simply the power to spend. That's all it is. So when you have a credit card, there's no money in that thing. They've just given you the power to spend. And the moment you spend it, you create debt. And then a debt is this contractual agreement that you'll pay it back. Now the trouble is, most people ain't paying it back. Look at the student loan crisis we're in. What's wrong with the crash? That's what people don't understand. Crashes are really good.
Yeah.
So in 2008, when the markets crashed, they also lowered the interest rates. My partners and I borrowed $300 million and we bought more property. And so 10 years later, we're now almost 600 million in debt. We just passed $500 million.
Right.
But we get very rich off of debt.
Right.
But that takes financial education. Well, what was lesson number 1 in Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Rich don't work for money.
Right.
The reason is money is toxic. After 1971, people who work for money are getting poorer, because the way your wealth is sucked out of you by the Fed, by the US Treasury, and by our government and our school system is the people that work for money get poorer. The people that save money get poorer. Well, sales equals income.
Yeah.
If you can't sell, you have no income. If I have real estate, I can borrow as much money as I want, and the more I borrow, the less I pay no taxes.
Right.